Hey guys, Bob here, aka Mr. Reef Safe, and today I'm using Safety Stop, Rapid Fish Quarantine. So today I'm adding a pair of tangs to my tank, a powder blue and Achilles. I know, they're ick magnets, but what we want to do is make sure that we give them the best chance possible. I don't have a place to quarantine here anymore, so I am trying out this rapid quarantine product. Now I've got my buckets set up already. In the first bucket is a gallon of water with the fish in it already, and an air stone. That is tank water. Second bucket is also tank water, and that'll be for part 2 of the dip. And the third bucket is also tank water, which they will go into for the last few minutes before they go in the tank. Part A is in the first bucket. They will be in there for 45 minutes with an air stone. I'll be watching them closely to make sure that there is no signs of stress on them. I want to make sure that they're healthy the whole way through. Part B is in the second bucket. Again, 45 minutes. Although an air stone is not necessary, I would highly suggest it to keep the water moving. They've been in the bucket now with part A for about 20 minutes. I've been watching them closely, and although they are laying down from time to time, they don't seem to be in any kind of danger. When they lay down, I check them, I make sure that they're doing okay. I'm watching them for breathing, because part A can lower the oxygen level in the tank. That is why you need the air bubbler. And I have that in there, and I'm just making sure that they are healthy the whole time and that they're not under too much stress. We're coming up on the 30-minute mark right now. The fish seems to be doing well still. The powder blue has laid down a couple times, but every time I've gone up to the bucket, it's gotten up and moved around. We're about 35 minutes in. You will notice that the fish are a little bit paler. That is not to be a concern at this point. They are under a stressful situation. As long as they are swimming around and they are breathing normally, slightly rapid, they are okay. You just want to make sure you monitor them the whole time. You probably can't see it from this angle, but there is a little piece of what appears to be nori floating around, probably from the bag that they came in, and the Achilles keeps going over to eat it, so that is a good sign. We're currently about 40 minutes into our 45-minute timer. The fish are doing well. They got about 5 more minutes in here, and then I'll switch them to the second bath. All right, so I'm moving the tangs from one bucket to the next now. So part A was in this bucket. You can see how feisty he is. Okay, so they're transferred over, and now it's time to add part B to the bucket. Although you don't need an air stone, it does help to keep the water moving. For part A, you definitely need an air stone. For part B, you don't need it, but I would suggest using it anyway. Water movement, oxygenation for the water, and it gets the treatment mixed even better into the water. Now both fish are back in aquarium water, and I have the bubbler in there now just to keep the water aerated. They're still not real happy, but they look like they're doing healthy. Despite the fact that the powder blue is laying down, he keeps getting up and swimming. He seems to be okay. So I've moved the Achilles tang into the tank. He's in an acclimation box right now. If you've watched my other videos, you've seen I've done an unboxing video on the acclimation box, something I highly recommend. He's in there to let the other fish get used to him. Now, if you notice, the powder blue is not in here. He needs a little bit more time in quarantine. I'm going to see how he does overnight. So the powder blue tang did not do as well in the rapid dip quarantine as did the Achilles tang. So I'm going to leave him in quarantine overnight and take a look at him in the morning and see how he's doing. In the meantime, the Achilles is in here. He's getting used to the other fish in the tank. The other fish are getting used to him. The fish will get used to his scent in the water and vice versa, and hopefully that will disperse some of the aggression. And hopefully I can get the powder blue in there as well, maybe tomorrow, see what he does. And they can get used to each other, same shape, and they would most likely be the ones that are most aggressive with each other. Hopefully the other tangs being a different shape will not be as aggressive, plus multiple tangs, dispersion. So although I did the dip tonight, I want to give it a few days and see how the fish do. I want to get a better idea. Now I've used this dip in the past, other people have used it as well. It's not something new, but it is something that is not widely used. And I want to see how good it is and if it's something I can recommend going forward. I have high hopes that it'll be something good, but we'll see. Nothing will beat a real quarantine, a full quarantine of your fish in a separate tank, observing them, medicating them, making sure they're good. But if you don't have room for quarantine, this might be a better option than just dumping it into the tank and hoping for the best. Here he is in the acclimation box. Of course he wants to get out. I have a little bit of PVC in there just so he has something to feel safe around. Obviously he can't swim in it, but he can swim behind it. He can get into a corner and just kind of hide, give him a little safety and security tonight. And there he is. He's looking happy. I want to be able to observe him in the morning, and if there's anything wrong, I want to be able to take him out of there. Here he is. He's been in the tank for about 2 weeks now, and he's doing really well. He eats like a pig, he grazes all day long, and he gets along with the whole tang gang. I am sad to say, however, that the powder blue did not make it. After many days in quarantine, he just was not doing well. His gills were inflamed, and he was breathing heavily, and he finally succumbed after about 3 days. Overall, I do believe that the Blue Life USA Rapid Quarantine Dip works really well. I've had no trouble with the Achilles. I've had no trouble with the other fish in there with him. I've used this method now a half a dozen times and I like it. And since I do not have a quarantine system set up at this moment in time, it works well for me.